first period students, I apologize. I will be out with the doctor tomorrow morning, so I won't be seeing you. You will have a sub. So I'm recording this video to kind of go over tomorrow's lesson, so when you walk in and see all of the notes, you're not super lost. Okay, so the first part that we would do if I had been in class would be this exploration portion, and it's going to be in your packet. So sub will tell you to skip the do now. So you're going to skip that. You're going to skip this, and you're actually going to do the exit ticket for today that we didn't get to do. So you're going to do the exit ticket for lesson 4 as do now. Okay? After you finish that and turn it in, you're going to do, you were supposed to do this part, but you're not going to do it, so you're just going to watch the video and kind of follow through. So if I'd asked you to do this right here, you would combine these like terms, like we did before. So you would have 1, you combine those two, would be negative 5x, and then on this side you have that. So it would be combined. So here it looks weird because they look the same. So my next step would be to combine the variables. Put the variables together by doing inverse operations. And then here you would run into a problem because that cancels out, and then this one also would cancel out. So you would have 1 equals 1. And this is where you would question, wait, what's happening? Why am I getting 1 equals 1? On this one, you would do the same thing. So this is already simplified all the way, and on this side, I would combine the like terms, right? So 4, and this would be plus 2p. I'll bring this down. Okay? Here you would then put the variables on one side, and here you would notice these cancel, and then, oh my god, wait a second, these cancel too, so then I would have 3 equals 4. So then you would notice that there's something going on here. Why am I getting these results? This one's a true statement, this is a false statement. This is true, it gave me 1 equals 1, but I didn't solve for the variable. The x is canceled out. Here, I get 3 equals 4. This is a false statement, but I cancel out the p, so I don't get what p equals. So these two are something called special solutions. So it doesn't have an actual solution. We cannot solve for x in either, and you're going to see that it differs when it's a true statement and it's a false statement. Okay? On the board, you will see when you walk in class tomorrow, you will see these 3 equations on the board. I'll zoom in each of them. So here you would see this one. This one's a normal equation, right? -7 minus 7, and then -3 minus 3, and you solve and you get 6. So in this one, you notice that you have, different coefficients for x on both sides, but you also have different constants, okay? So when you have different coefficients of x or whatever variable we're using, different constants, you're going to get one solution, okay? The other equation you'll see on the board when you walk in would be this one. So kind of like the exploration activity where you couldn't solve, so there has to be something special, right? So here you have the same coefficient on both sides, a 9 and a 9, so they would cancel out. And then you have different constants. So this is a 2, this is a -12. When the coefficients are the same, but the constants are different, you end up with something that's a false statement, like we did in the exploration. Okay? Over here, the third one you'll see when you walk in class, you'll see that you have the same coefficients on both sides again, but this time you have also the same constants. Okay? So this one will yield a true statement. Okay? So those are the 2 special solutions. When the coefficients are the same on both sides and they have different constants, you're going to see that you're going to get a false statement. When the coefficients are the same on both sides and the constants are the same, in other words, this side is identical to that side, you're going to notice that you're going to get a true statement at the end. So what are those things called? This is also going to be on the board when you walk in. Okay, this table. Okay, so you have three scenarios when you have equations. You either have the one where there's a solution, like we've been solving every day in class up to now. Then you're going to get a no solution, so this is this one. When you get a false statement, when the coefficients of the variables are the same, in this case the 9s, but the constants are different. You get a false statement, that means that there is actually no solution. So we'll copy these notes from the board. Okay, and this is also called a contradiction. So there's a lot of vocabulary here. So when you get a false statement at the end, like your variables cancel, and you get a false statement, there's no solution to that equation, and it's called a contradiction. These are the notes that will be on the board. Okay, when you get this, right, when they're identical on both sides, the coefficients of the variables are identical, and the constants are identical, they're like identical terms, right? This is what happens. You have infinitely many solutions. So any x value that you put in here will be true. So if I say, what if x equals -1/4? Well, it's going to be the same because both are going to have -1/4. What if x equals 1,000,000? If you put 1,000,000 on each, you're still going to get a true statement every time. So that means that here, x can be any rational number, okay? Any real number, actually not rational, but any real number. So here you could also see the answer say, all real numbers. And I put that on the board for you as well. So whenever you get a true statement, or they're identical, right, it's many solutions, infinitely many, or you'll see all real numbers. This is called an identity. Okay, so all of this vocabulary will also be on the board for you when you walk in. So tomorrow's lesson is about that, recognizing the structure, right, of a simplified equation that has variables on both sides. So remember, in today's lesson, we simplified each side all the way, so you only had variable, constant, variable, constant. So when you simplify an equation all the way to where you just have variable constant equals variable constant, you're going to recognize the structure. If both are different, you're going to get one solution. If the coefficients are the same, but the constants are different, you're going to get no solution. When they're identical on both, you're going to know this is an identity. It's infinitely many solutions. So that's the point of tomorrow's lesson, to identify the structure, and I already know that you may get a special solution and not an actual one. You may get a no solution situation or an all real number solution situation. So this will be blank. When the sub tells you go ahead and copy the table on the board, this is where you would write those notes on your paper. And this is where you're going to write the example of the equations I just showed you, and they're going to be on the board. Okay? Then you're going to come to this. Okay? When you come to this part, the sub will hand out this little sheet. Okay? And then on the board, you will also see a chart that has its number 1 through 8, and it will look like this, but it's on the board. Now I know it doesn't make any sense, so what does that mean? Okay, so this will be on the board, and the sub will hand you this. So what you're going to do is the following. Over here, this will be like your number 1 is A equals B. So this would be number 1, and you would put A, and you would put B. Okay? So from your little paper, you're going to copy the expression for A. And then you would copy the expression from B. Okay? Once you do that, you have your equation, so you're going to equal them to each other. Okay, so I will write them over here. I will be the equation. Let me zoom in for you. And I will copy those. That 8x minus 6 plus 58 equals B. -3 2x minus 8 plus 14x. Okay? You're going to do that for the rest. So on this one right here, on the following one, you'll have A equals F. So you go here, you would write A over here, and you would write the F over here, the equation, and then solve. So now you know when the sub gives you those directions, you know what to do. If the rest of your classmates look a little confused and you already watched this video, ask the sub if you can help your shoulder partner understand if they don't understand what we're doing. From here, you would do what we did in class. You simplify one side at a time. Okay, so here I would simplify this. 8 times x is 8x, so distributive property. And then 8 times negative 6 would be negative 48. Okay, so from here, I would bring down the 58 because that is not part of the parentheses, so we just bring it down. After I'm done with that step, I still have more simplifying to do. These are like terms. So I would have the 8x, negative 48 plus positive 48 would be positive 10. Okay, so I'm done simplifying that side. Now I'm going to jump to this side over here. Okay, and I also have some distributing to do on this side. So negative 3 times 2x would be negative 6x. Negative 3 times negative 8 would be positive 24. The 14x is not part of the parentheses, so I'll just bring it down. Over here, I notice I also have some more simplifying. I see these two are terms. Okay, so that would be positive x plus 24. When I arrive here, now I have variable constant and variable constant. Over here, I notice like, oh, wait a minute. The coefficient of the variables are the same, but the constants are different. So they're the same and the constants are different. I know I'm going to end up with a no solution situation, a false statement. And I can prove it by, okay, let's put the variables together. I have a 24, and over here I have a 10, because these also canceled. Does 24 equal 10? Nope, this is a false statement. If it's false, that means no solution would be my solution. Okay, so you would do that with all of them, showing your work and then the solution. Some of them do have a solution. Some of them will be all real numbers or infinitely many solutions. And you're going to do as many as possible from the ones that are indicated for you on the board. Okay, so I hope that helped. After that, if you finish, the sub will ask you to finish your homework. There is a graphic organizer here that I will send a picture of at the end of class tomorrow through Remind so that you can fill it out. If you're completely confused, I will be available for tutoring tomorrow after school. We need to clarify anything from the lesson. Okay, well, have a good day.